Pleasure is not accidental, especially in the spotlight.
Hello and welcome to Pleasure, Power and Platforms. My name is Liza Chima Akweni. If you're just listening to me, then this is episode 7. I urge you to go back and look at the phenomenal content that we created for the theme of friendship. The episodes are really short, they're shorter than 15 minutes, so you can binge all 6 of them in one day. For the rest of this week, I want to speak about laughter. I know you've heard the term burnout, and there's how to cope with burnout, and how to do this burnout, and how to manage pressure, how to manage perfectionism, and there's all of this conversation, and it seems as if we've all forgotten laughter. Laughter is one of the key indicators that a child is happy. Laughter is one of the key indicators that you find something enjoyable. Laughter is one of the key indicators that you are not under pressure. Yes, some people laugh when they're pressured. I know. I've seen it happen in therapy where a person is having a really hard conversation, so they start to laugh because they're using it as a shield. But if laughter was not such a great tool, why would people use it as a mask? When you come into boardrooms and you have negotiations, people may not be laughing. But one of the indicators that this negotiation was good is that you find people having conversations, dialogue, and laughing after that. When you go to a party and nobody is laughing, there is a sense of dread as to what is going on here, right? So, if laughter is so important in everyday life and we try to laugh even in hard conversations or in environments where laughter is not expected, how come laughter is no longer experienced in our personal life and laughter has become something we have externalized? We seem to laugh for other people and not for ourselves. When was the last time you had fun by yourself, enjoying something? So let's talk about what you do. The way you got into the spotlight in the first place, the way you became a powerful person, whether you run a conglomerate, you own a small business, you are partnering with a Fortune 500 company to do something, or you're a person who is an artist, a musician, whatever you do, whatever sphere of influence you control. How did you rise to the top? I imagine that at some point you liked what you did. At some point. You may not always like every bit of what you do. I don't like every bit of therapy. There are parts of therapy I would like to edit and never happen again. I mean, it's part of what it is. You have to do the comprehensive whole. You have to do the hard part, the sad part, the annoying part. You do all of that. But there is the enjoyable part. The part that you would love to do again and again and again, even if there were no awards, even if there were no songs about you doing those things, even if nobody clapped for you. If you're a musician, then you did love music at some point. You were in love with music. Music was not merely something you did so people could stream it and you could make money and then you could get an award. The reason you started making music was not to get awards. If you're a scientist, you loved the concept of having a hypothesis that you could test that became something significant. You enjoyed it. The question I'm asking is, what do you enjoy? In 2025, what do you enjoy? What is something you could do right now that you would smile? For me, I found out that although I love working as a therapist and I love the social sciences, I love the research, I love looking at people, I love paying attention to how society works, and I like biology and all of those other things, those other science conversations, I find out art is how I settle down. Art is how I breathe. It's how I slow down. I love the cameras and the lights when I'm sitting in front of it because I mean, I like it. I just like it. There's no other word for what it is. But when these lights go out and this camera crew isn't here and this camera isn't turned on, I think I like to make pottery. I think I like to camp in the woods. I don't just think it, I will invest in it. I like music, but quiet music, not loud music. Not loud music. I would consider things that are more gentle, things that have flow, things that have a rhythm. I may not listen to drums because they can be loud, but something that is gentle, that has a flow, something that allows me to be in the moment. So we're talking dance, we're talking salsa, we're looking at breathing. What is that for you? You need to come back to what I call enjoyment. And enjoyment can no longer be tied to people. So, a very popular assignment I give to my clients who are people of leadership, people of positions, is that I ask them to do something creative. I remembered one of my clients, I said to the person, I need you to go out. I gave the person three options. You have to go to the spa, you have to go to a salsa club, or you have to go to an art event. The person was supposed to go to a play, if I wasn't mistaken. And the person came back and said, I can't remember the last time I had to do any of those things. And I didn't have to check up on my neighbor. Like, did you enjoy it? Because they always had to do something with a partner, maybe a sister, a brother, a friend group. There was always community attached. Community is great, but you need enjoyment with your name on it. Enjoyment that is for you. A place that allows you to just be in the moment, to just sit. And as a person who is in a position of power, a lot of responsibility lies on your shoulders, which means you have a lot of things to do that are already external. Your enjoyment can also not be external. The only time you eat good food cannot be when you have business dinners. The only time you have to go to parties, if you're a person who is extroverted and you like parties, the last party you went to could not be one that was a meet and greet. It can be something your friend forced you to. It can be something a business partner forced you to. The last paint and sip you went to didn't have to be something you had to do with your family members. It didn't have to be something that was a date. Some of you, the last random thing you did was because a matchmaking app sent you out to meet a random person. When was the last time you took off your leadership cloak and just took a stroll outside and said hi to someone? Years ago at Lisa Express, we had what was called the October Challenge, and the idea of it was to Hogtober. And the first day of the challenge, people had the assignment to write 100 things they like about themselves, if I'm not mistaken, because this was 2021. People had to write 100 things they liked about themselves, 100 or 30 things. I give my clients 100 on personal assignment. So because it's a group assignment, I will assume I give 30. 30 things you love about yourself, 100 if you can push yourself. And then one of the days, they were supposed to go out on a walk without their phones, without a headset, no music. Don't go out with a second party. Just go on a walk by yourself. And I remembered when people started sending me the feedback, a certain lady said, I walked down to the end of my street and I realized the uncompleted building had been completed and people had been living inside. And I asked them how long they had been there. Apparently, they'd been living there for longer than 3 months. How do you live on the same street with people for 3 months and not know they exist? I don't mean you have to engage with them. How can you be so disconnected? It's not how can. I know how it can happen. But it isn't the proper thing. It's part of the things that happen to us when we don't enjoy the mundane, everyday thing of life. Where our next target is, oh, the next event I can host, and the next project I can do this, and the next billion that's on my radar, and the next this, the next that. We forget basic enjoyment. What I'm asking you to do in this episode is ask yourself, when was the last time I enjoyed doing something? Follow that up with, when was the last time I enjoyed doing something by myself? Follow that up with, when was the last time I laughed about something fully by myself? Something happened that made you laugh until you toppled over, or you started, whatever it was that made you laugh at yourself or by yourself or about yourself. The idea of this new thing is for us to connect with laughter. And today I want you to connect with enjoyment. Until I see you the next time, I am Liza Chima Akwende. Bye-bye.